Welcome to the Lifestyle Herbalist, the podcast where holistic wellness meets everyday living. I'm your host, Dabney, registered dental hygienist, clinical herbalist, and certified health coach. We're passionate about bridging the gap between conventional medicine and plant-powered healing. Whether we're diving into oral microbiome health, the power of adaptogens, or just simple steps for vibrant living, our goal is to help you feel empowered with practical, science-backed, and earth-grown solutions. So grab your favorite cup of tea as we dive into this episode. Hey, good day to everyone. Welcome back to the Lifestyle Herbalist. I'm Dabney, and I'll be taking you through today's episode, which is about xenoestrogens. Do you even know what they are? Or why we even need to pay attention to what they are? Well, I had no idea what a xenoestrogen was until I entered herbal school. But what I learned completely changed the way I look at things and the way I cook, or what I use to cook with, or when I'm warming up foods, what to avoid. And the reason we need to pay attention to these things, especially as women, is that these xenoestrogens mimic estrogen and can really have a negative impact on our bodies. It was actually in the 1990s where a group of scientists were analyzing alligators from different lakes in Florida, and they noticed that their manhood parts, their penises, actually were very different from one lake to another lake. They also found that male trout were starting to synthesize the precursors to egg yolk proteins. And what they observed was that the human sperm count was in decline. So these three observations led a huge research effort to track down, what is causing these male species to become more feminine? And before long, it was determined that there was a class of environmental pollutants that mimic the female hormone, and it binds to the estrogen receptors that interfere with the body's hormonal system. This is something clearly that we need to be paying attention to. Estrogens are hormones, and they have a diverse role in the female anatomy. They and their agonists function by binding the conventional estrogen receptors. Endogenous and exogenous estrogens are known to bind estrogen and many other nuclear receptors associated with these changes in various organ systems. They control cell proliferation. They're responsible for bone and mammary gland and uterine growth. They also help with cardiac activity regulation, metabolic regulation, and glucose and lipid panels. It helps with inflammation, and it helps with whether lipids are deposited or other blood-borne material in the arterial wall even happen. So the environmental estrogens are a structurally diverse group of chemicals, and they partially mimic the effects of endogenous estrogens. And scientists believe that the wide use of environmental estrogens such as bisphosphonyl A, known as BPA, which is a compound of epoxy resins and polycarbonate plastics, they help to explain the rising incidence of birth defects and in certain cancers. And evidence has shown that BPA is more potent than expected. These endocrine-disrupting chemicals leach from consumer products and are persistent in the environment. Some common xenoestrogens have been known are bisphosphonyl S, which is BPS. So there's BPA, there's BPS, there's parabens, there's non-naliphenol triclosan, which for a long time was in some toothpaste. And it's important for both human and environmental health that we pay attention to what we're actually putting on our body, and mainly inside of our body. One study found that these endocrine-disrupting chemicals exhibit a higher binding rate in actually water solutions more than anything else. There are over 1,000 chemicals classified as EDCs, which is I'm going to refer to from this point on, but these are the endocrine-disrupting chemicals, EDCs, due to their potential to disrupt the hormones. Xenoestrogens are EDCs, and they mimic the behavior of estrogens inside the body. Estrogens comprise one category of the EDCs and may interfere with our endocrine and hormonal systems. Xenoestrogens are stored in fat cells and can be reintroduced into the bloodstream and may disrupt hormonal balance, which can then contribute to estrogen dominance. We know that there are several cancers that point to estrogen dominance issues, especially for women. Estrogen is metabolized through the detoxification in the liver, which is why we need to pay attention to our liver. Xenoestrogens are absorbed through the digestive system since they can migrate to food from food packages and drinks as well as from plastic products used daily. The presence of these chemicals are considered to be potential cause for some diseases commonly known as diseases of civilization. These xenoestrogens are chemicals with unfavorable impacts on our health. There are several product ingredients that seem harmless, yet have negative impacts on health. Parabens are used as a preservative in many skincare and cosmetic products. These names can include methylparaben, ethylparaben, polyparaben, and butaparaben. All mimic estrogen and have been linked to breast cancer risk. Some of these chemicals are found in nail polish, hairspray, and other products that disrupt hormone function and have been associated with developmental and reproductive issues. Many synthetic fragrances contain these xenoestrogens and other endocrine disruptors. You want to look for products with natural or essential oil-based fragrances. Many of these things are used as preservatives, used in substitutes for parabens, and exhibit xenoestrogenic activity. Salicylic acid is found in many anti-aging and anti-acne products and is suspected to be a xenoestrogen. PEGs and PPGs are used in emulsifiers and solvents and are thought to be a potential carcinogen. Talc is used in a filler in makeup and has been linked to ovarian cancer, particularly products used in the genital areas. Some of these are in cosmetics to enhance penetration and are thought to be a disruption to hormonal function. One area that has gained currency in the past few years is the ability for these EDCs effect on the gut microbiome and the surrounding environmental conditions that reside on and within these various tissues. We've talked many times about gut dysbiosis, as well as our oral microbiome. This gut dysbiosis may occur through potential mechanisms like the reduction of the beneficial microorganisms, the propagation of the pathogenic or assuming detrimental microorganisms, and some resident gut bacteria are communal with even providing beneficial functions such as synthesis on the various vitamin B forms. The breakdown of plant cellulose and synthesis of short-chain fatty acids that in humans and other animals cannot synthesize on their own. These microbes are essential for our bodily functions and can be disrupted by these xenoestrogens. Microbiotas are present in the variety of tissues and systems, including our skin, our GI system, our reproductive system, and oral nasal activities. Bacteria residing in the gut can also influence other systems, including our brain. We've talked many times also about the gut-brain axis and the relationship between our gut and our memory and our brain function. Environmental factors certainly affect our gut microbiota, diversity, and the richness of it. The main routes of exposure to these chemical toxins includes ingestion, absorption through the skins, and thus affects the bacteria living in these regions. The brain is particularly sensitive to gut microbiome changes, and thought the vagal nerve and the brain to impact the gut motility is thereby residing in the gastrointestinal system. Science has confirmed that there is a bidirectional communication. In the dental field, sealants and composites are frequently used. And a 2018 review article concluded that while there is a BPA release, it poses no long-term effects and was not detected in the blood serum after 24 hours. It is recommended that dental practitioners should treat the surface layer of the sealant by washing the surface for 30 seconds with an air water syringe while using a high volume suction to remove fluids and debris, reducing the change of toxicity, or even using a rubber dam to avoid any possibility of BPAs remaining on the tooth surface. Its exposure is limited and nothing really to be concerned about according to this study. Hygiene is also essential to avoid diseases, thankfully, to daily cleaning and disinfection protocols. Research continues to explore commercial products containing antimicrobial agents effective on human health. Triclosan, which is one of the antimicrobial agents used in cosmetic products, toothpaste, and disinfectants. This compound is an endocrine disruptor and therefore interferes with hormonal function. Studies in both animals and humans suggest the possibility of harmful health outcomes, particularly for the reproductive system, and is less extent for the cardiovascular and thyroid function. A collection of bacteria known as estrobiome is found in the gut, and what it does is it metabolizes body's circulating estrogen. Some of these bacteria produce beta-glutarase, which is an enzyme that may help reabsorb estrogen in the body and in the blood. When the gut bacteria are not in balance, as with dysbiosis, this activity can be impacted. The diversity of the gut microbiome can also affect the influence of the balance of the estrogen, and the resulting dysbiosis can lead to imbalances between the different forms of estrogen in the body, leading to estrogen-related pathologies and chronic conditions. Some symptoms of excessive estrogen include heavy menstrual bleeding, mood swings, weight gain, hot flashes, headaches, sleep disturbances, fibroids, endometriosis, fibrotic breasts, depression or anxiety, and low thyroid function. So, try to minimize exposure to these xenoestrogens by choosing natural products that are free from parabens, sodium lauryl sulfate, which is the bubbles in most toothpaste and cleaning supplies or cleaning body care products, artificial dyes, which may contain hormonal disrupting chemicals. Prioritize organic, hormone-free food to reduce the intake of pesticides and synthetic hormones found in conventional farming. Refer to the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 when choosing foods at the grocery store. Store leftovers in stainless steel or glass containers instead of plastic, which can release estrogen-mimicking chemicals into the food. And I have to say, I'm still appalled how many times I see my coworkers bring their food in a plastic container, put it in the microwave at lunchtime, turn on the microwave in these plastic containers, and that plastic leaching into their food. And by and large, 95 to 98% of people working in the dental field are women. And women, we need to pay attention to what we're putting in our bodies. Even though these things are cheap and are easily accessible, I suggest using glass, or if you are storing in plastic, don't put your hot food in a plastic container. Let it get to room temperature or cool it down first before storing it in a plastic container. If you're going to store something in a plastic container, remove it before you put it in a glass or a ceramic dish, something that's microwavable. I don't love microwaves. I think it changes the constituents of our food, and it changes the molecular structure. I don't like microwaves. Did I mention that? But if you are going to use a microwave because of convenience, or that's just what you have, then put your food into something that is microwavable safe, not plastic. So, going back to, sorry, I was on a rant there, but filter drinking water with a reverse osmosis or an activated charcoal system, which can help remove contaminants that contain xenoestrogens. Trade your plastic wrap with food wraps with beeswax or silicone alternatives. And I have to say, I've been using this for quite a while in my house, and I found it to be quite easy to do. The food wraps with beeswax are lovely. They look really pretty in your refrigerator. I just wrap up my my onion or put it right over top of my my food. I also have these little, it looks like a little shower cap that I have to put over top of my plastic or my bowls, my ceramic bowls that my leftover foods, to store them in a refrigerator. There are natural ways to support estrogen balance and can be a key component of maintaining hormone balance and overall health. I talk to women who are dealing with so many hormonal disruptors or hormonal issues with perimenopause, menopause, but xenoestrogens are playing into that to negatively impact this rite of passage. Rather than fighting this rite of passage, let's embrace it, embrace this change, and do things differently to avoid the surges, power surges, and hot flashes that happen. Dietary modifications are a practical way to support estrogen balance in the body. To effectively detoxify the body, a holistic approach that supports liver function, enhances elimination, and reduces ongoing exposure is essential. Like I said, the liver plays a key role in breaking down and excreting the excessive estrogen. So incorporating crucifer vegetables like broccoli, kale, and Brussels sprouts, these are rich in detox-supporting chemicals and can aid in hormone metabolism. Also, having a raw carrot every day can bind those toxins and xenoestrogens and help them be removed from your body. This isn't the shaved down little carrot that you find in a little plastic bag, but it's actually a raw carrot that you would find Bugs Bunny chewing on. Stay well hydrated and consume fiber-rich foods like flax seeds, chia seeds, and leafy greens. It helps to combine and remove those toxins through digestion. Get regular exercise, including both cardio and strength training. It promotes circulation and sweating, which is our body's way of getting rid of all of those toxins. And that further assists in flushing out the harmful compounds. Additionally, supporting your gut health with probiotics and reducing stress through mindfulness and adequate sleep. It can help optimize the body's natural detox pathways. Limit or even avoid processed foods, refined sugar, and alcohol. By combining these strategies with conscientious lifestyle choices, such as avoiding plastic food containers, choosing organic personal care products, and filtering water, you can minimize xenoestrogens and the accumulation that promote hormonal balance. So, what are some herbs that can help support the liver? So liver is a great way, like I said, to eliminate these and detoxify the body and eliminate these xenoestrogens. We talked a bit about broccoli, kale, carrots, and cauliflower. Those are the natural ways and the first line of defense. Food is medicine and is the best way to shape your body in the way you want it to function. Consuming fiber-rich foods, flaxseed, chia seeds, they bind and excrete excess hormones. Hydration, supplementation with calcium and D, having a probiotic that helps to balance the gut microbiome. Let's not forget how important it is to have fiber every day. Fiber is a prebiotic that helps to feed our good microbiome in our gut that then helps us to become more regulated. It helps with hormones, regulation, digestion of food. So what are some key herbs? I think about dandelion, I think about milk thistle, I think about turmeric, I think about yellow dock. There are a lot of good supporting herbs that can help detoxify and support our liver to help hormone functions and to rid our body from these xenoestrogens. So in closing, I hope that you have been able to extrapolate some maybe one or two things that you will maybe pay attention to going forward and looking at your home. Are you using plastics? Do you have plastic utensils that you're cooking with? Are they sitting in your soup pot as you're stirring things around? Are you using plastic to eat with when you're out and about? I have often started taking my fork and my spoon with me when I know I'm going to be going to a picnic because I don't want to eat from a plastic fork or a plastic spoon. Are you drinking from a plastic cup? There's just plastic everywhere. There's plastic on receipts. There's plastic on our credit card. As soon as we walk out the door, we are involved in toxins everywhere. There is no way to avoid them. No way. We're going to have toxins on our face, on our hands. It's going to be absorbed. But we have a choice in reducing the amount rather than adding to it. So just taking one small step today and just choose one thing that you're going to do differently. Maybe you'll choose not to warm up your foods in a plastic container. Maybe you'll choose to get rid of all of your plastic containers at home and just throw them in the trash. Don't even worry about donating. I don't even donate them because I don't want anybody else to be exposed to these environmental toxins and hormonal disruptors. So I just throw them in the trash. I know it's not great for the environment. However, I don't know what else to do with them. And if anybody has an idea of what I can do with them, I'm happy to take that on. So anyway, thanks for listening. Tune in next week as we explore even more things on how to be healthy. So until next time, stay healthy.